Sierra Leone is not the most sought-after destination. It's a country best known for brutal civil war, blood diamonds, and most recently an outbreak of the Ebola epidemic. But far from running a mile, New Zealander Simon Coley from Kola is back in the country for his second visit. Ebola killed close to 4,000 people here, shut down the borders and made it impossible for Simon until now to return. Simon and the New Zealand company Kola have established both trade links and great friendships here.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
Good to see you.
Oh, good to see
Where's
you.
your hair gone?
Wow.
You're like me now.
Yeah.
This is Boma, the village we get the cola that goes in Kola from. And we're here because we've been supplied by these people with Kola Nut for the last 5 years.
Boma village lies deep within the Gola rainforest on the Liberian border. It's here where Kola has its roots.
Originally we thought we'd try and see if we could find a place we could get cola from, so we could call the product Kola. There's no point in putting that on the name, on the label, without actually being able to do some good with it. Cola is the most drunk drink in the world, after water. It's the most well-known word in the English language, after okay. And yet it comes from this place. And none of these people have benefited from the sale of the drink.
The Kola Nut holds great significance for the people here, much more than just the flavouring of a fizzy drink.
It's part of the fabric of life. People use it to greet each other, they use it for medicine, and now they're using it to help create a more sustainable economy for themselves.
An economy that continues to flourish as the relationship between Kola and Boma village strengthens.
When we told them about the people
Simon is accompanied by Albert Tucker, his right-hand man and the chairman of the Kola Foundation. Assembled to greet the team are the region's chiefs and villagers.
We think it's very important that we share with you something of our lives back home, because you've very generously shared yours with us. Here's to you.
Simon, wanting to give back to the villagers, has something special planned, but before that can happen, homage to the gods must first be paid.
We are from you. You are our ancestor. We are praying that God will not forget us.
Faith here is a mix of traditional animism, Christian and Muslim beliefs. To date, religion has never been the cause of conflict. Ritual prayers complete, the village shaman tells the story of Kola coming to the village.
White man came here. He advised us to be established in plantation. After a few time, 2 years, he presented a cartoon of drinks. Said the cola you gave me some time ago, how we produce this thing, you don't know. But the small thing that came out of it is what we have brought to show you. It was out of that small token they were able to construct that drink and did some other things, so that whenever they invite the paramount chief, he will not fall off or will not swim in that.
Now it's time for Simon and his travel companions to unveil their plan.
We brought 2 of our business buddies from London, Tom Barton and Philip Eales, who are the founders of Honest Burger, to make burgers here in the jungle.
This is a very, very strange experience.
Honest Burgers has also been contributing some of the profits from their burgers and Kola back to the village.
When Kola came along and we met with Simon, we were really enthused by what he was doing, but had this massive urge to see what he was doing as well. So I think our first meeting we were like, when can we go to Sierra Leone? We want to do it. I think then the idea progressed, can we bring burgers over here?
The crazy idea was, rather than us tell people what we do and what it's like for someone at the other end of our supply chain, we thought, why don't we bring them here and see if we can cook? The intention was that we would share some of our culture, popular Western culture here. But it's kind of the good aspects of it, like sharing food is a really important way of respecting each other.
First time cooking in front of a load of people. Most of them you think what we're doing is mental, by the way. We're not happy about any of this.
It's 35 degrees in the shade, and the village women, not impressed with a couple of pasty white boys taking over their domain, try to muscle in. With the women repelled, Phil and Tom returned to the task at hand.
There's a lot of kind of cynicism around charity and where does the money go, does it even make it to the right cause. So one of the biggest factors for us working with Karma is to make sure it was going on things they wanted and that we're going to generate more income for them. Trade, not aid. It's the kind of long-standing, more long-term effect that's going to really change this place.
What we're trying to do is give these people a hand up rather than a hand out, and we've been working with local initiatives here to help administer that.
Cardi Bo is the chief of Boma village, one of but a few female chiefs in Sierra Leone. Her husband, Chief Hindua, translates for her.
Since Kola Foundation has come into Boma community, it's tremendously large. The first changes, the bridge. Before Kola come, no vehicle enter Boma because there was no bridge. That was our obstacle. We used to cut palm logs to put on the stream. Whenever rain comes, all the palm logs will just wipe away by the overflowing stream.
We're not experts in supporting developing economies or rural communities like this. It's not something I'd ever thought I'd end up doing, or any of us that work at Kola. But, because of the journey we've been on, we've found we're somehow responsible for some lives here. And it's important for me that we respect that these guys are able to develop their own independence with what little help we can give them.
Yeah, it is working. Huh? I mean, everyone seems super excited about it, and hoping that us coming over here showing them that we're serious and it's not just about charity. This is we're trying to set up a trade link that's going to hopefully give some real long-term benefits for this place.
The burgers are ready, but adhering to local protocol, village leaders, including the region's paramount chief who's travelled far to be here, are to be served first.
Tastes good.
With the chief's seal of approval, it's the hungry masses that now need feeding. Phil and Tom have prepared to feed 150 people, but with around 500 turning up, some fast thinking has been required. Adding cassava chips to the menu and rummaging up every spare bit of bread in the village and quartering the burgers ensures that everyone will get fed.
Look around, these people don't want much. They just don't want to have to ask for charity. And that's what we're here for, to make sure that they don't need to.
And with the Gola rainforest on their doorstep, it's only a short walk to find the Kola Nut, the nut that's given this village independence while remaining an integral part of the environment.
So how does Kola help that whole
Peterson is the local Kola Nut farmer and expert.
Kola grows tall, it provides shade, and it can stay for over 20, 30 to 50 years in production.
the old trees?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And that provides a canopy?
Yes, the canopy serves to protect the soil. See, so it improves biodiversity.
And the soil health is the most important thing, right?
Sure.
The Gola rainforest is the main water source of many of West Africa's rivers, and as a global biodiversity hotspot, it's of immense importance.
100 miles that way, there's a lot of palm plantations. You know, if we can show that this rainforest is productive without being torn down, then those palm plantations won't reach here. And this place will stay as biodiverse as it is.
Destruction of the rainforest and the kola tree would gravely impact the villagers here, as the society and culture is deeply interwoven with the kola nut.
These guys have been using cola in their daily lives for over 2,000 years. You know, it's part of the fabric of this society. They use it to continue to have relationships with the departed. You know, it's a powerful thing.
It is regarded one when they born the child, during the naming ceremony, also during marriage ceremonies, also during burial ceremonies, also during Ramadan and visitors when somebody come.
Additionally, in land disputes.
Land disputes, okay.
In Nigeria, according to Chinua Achebe, it says, "He who brings cola brings life." But in Sierra Leone, we say, "He who brings cola brings peace."
He who brings cola brings peace.
Yes.
It's the peace nut.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And if any country needed it, it was Sierra Leone.
We're in the middle of the Gola rainforest here, which is just a few kilometres from Liberia. When the Liberian rebels came here, they marched through this town and they were given such a warm welcome. They ate, enjoyed themselves and went home again. They did that twice before their leader told them to stop messing around. And then they came and they terrorised these villages. And what these people don't talk about is how terrible that was. The rebels were told to do things like choose one or two people in the village and they would be harmed. They'd have their arms chopped off.
They started to kill our people. They started to grab our wives, our children. They took them away. They rape our wives in front of us. They kill our brothers and sisters in front of us. Why they do that? They say that will make the world look terrible. They terrorize us. So with that attitude, we started to be intimidated. We started to run away from them. It was so horrible that we can't help the situation, so we have to flee into the forest.
So these people fled. They couldn't live here. So for 10 years they were living around these places, but they didn't have homes. They lived in the jungle. And a lot of what we're doing here is just giving them a chance to get what they had back.
You ask me why I look happy. It's because of the changes, the fast changes of our lives through the help of these international bodies, especially like when Kamakola just emerged, you know, with the help that Kamakola give to us, like sending money to rebuild, to reconstruct our bridge, you know, send money for underbrushing, because after 10 years we are just on the run.
Hindua has incredible resilience. He's a very happy man. He's taught me a lot. And I know, from the stories he's told me, just how, if I was in his situation, I don't know that I could get through it. It takes a huge amount of humanity to forgive people and to rise above the kind of crap these people have been dealt.
The trade of the kola nut has been instrumental in helping these people to rebuild.
Kola grows in the canopy, and it's incredible that it's even been discovered because it's so far up in the rainforest.
The kola tree grows wild but has been nurtured by villagers to ensure a constant supply.
To harvest it takes a little bit of ingenuity. You've got to take a very long stick with a hook on the end of it to get it to the ground. So that's the first step.
Or you can take the more direct route, straight up. The nuts are collected and then taken back to the village for sorting.
So once you've got your kola pods, the green shell of the pod is broken open, and that reveals some white kola nuts. Like, it's a seed pod, they're seeds. And the pith, the white pith, is peeled away, and that reveals the kola. And the kola is either pink or brown or white, often pink. So the nuts are washed, and once they're clean, they're mixed with potash and put into a sack to ferment for a little time, and that preserves them. And when they're preserved, they're wrapped in a leaf, and the leaf keeps them moist. It's very important to keep all the oxygen out, so the combination of the moistened nuts and the pressure of the leaves around them, it gets rid of the oxygen, and that gives them a nice little parcel that's hermetically sealed for it to travel in. It's put on a bike and sent to Bow, and Michael Salo packages it up and sends it to London.
2 bags of kola nuts or 3 bags, that can bring in some good cash into my home. That I can take care of my family, even about throughout that year, So with Kamakola, our lives rebuild again, we survive.
And it's not just the sale of kola nuts that's creating opportunity here. A percentage of each drink sold is channeled back into the village through the Kamakola Foundation. The village committee then decides how best to utilise the funds.
It's really important for us to understand that this is not about individual development. It's about the whole community rising at the same pace. So, there are some simple rules we're trying to evolve about anything we do here needing to benefit everyone. The people here aren't continually expecting the support, but know that what little we can give them can create something that's sustainable, so they don't need it.
The Foundation's greatest initiative to date is creating education opportunities for village girls. Traditionally, educating girls here has never been deemed important, and about 80% of them are illiterate. By funding 65 girls to go to school, Kamakola is hoping to change that. Ami Kuma is one of 65 girls from the village that's receiving a scholarship to go to school.
Ami, what do you want to do after you leave school? You want to be a nurse? It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to be good to people. Yeah. It is. Nursing is good. It's a good profession. So, Marcy, why is it important that Ami goes to school? So she wants her to make something special of her life?
Yeah.
All right, that's great.
Education means a lot in the life of my girl child. As I said, that is the right of a girl child to be educated. That's one. Then freedom. The most priority for a girl child is freedom.
We're not an NGO. We're not the government. You know, we can't pay to build schools. That's someone else's responsibility. But if we can get a teacher in one, that can mean a classroom can be half the size, so kids can learn faster and have more attention, that's a hell of a lot of difference for what's a relatively small amount of investment. And the more of those little seeds we can plant, the stronger these small institutions in these communities, like education and health and trade, can grow.
On a smaller scale, the foundation has provided loans for women like this to set up their own small businesses.
It's a whole lot more than just being able to offer dollars. If you can create a kind of sense of ownership and partnership and a future, something you can do together, it's so powerful.
Simon crosses the Moa River heading for the eco-reserve and animal sanctuary on Tiwai Island that the Kola Foundation has been asked to support. Midawa is a guide on the island and the local gamekeeper.
You've obviously loved the island very much.
So much, so much.
What is it? What is your concern with the island?
My concern is, then I see that let the island be protected.
Yeah.
When the island be protected, many people come to the island and they pay money. That money they pay 1 year round, they share that money among the communities. And when this island be protected, we will get more benefit.
Why does Tiwai need to be protected?
It's because the poachers come to the island and kill some monkeys.
Originally, these treetops would be full of troops of monkeys, living peacefully, almost oblivious to humans. But as poachers have hunted more and more, their numbers have decreased and their wariness accelerated. Midawa knows they're close. He can smell their acrid urine, but they're long gone before he can catch a glimpse. Demand for monkey meat, a highly sought-after delicacy, has decimated the numbers of the rare Diana monkey. Those that remain, now fearful of humans, scatter at the slightest whiff of danger. High above them, a guard monkey spots them and sends out a warning to the others. But then, after nearly 2 hours of searching, Simon finally gets a glimpse of the beautiful tree dweller. Simon has seen enough, or not enough, of the Diana monkeys to know that the Kola Foundation's support here must continue. Back in the village, the time is fast approaching for Simon to leave.
We're in it now, and you know, whether I like it or not, we've started something and we need to see it through. And these people, because we've established that partnership, will benefit greatly from us following it through. This has been a very special time for me. We were overwhelmed by your generosity and your hospitality. And also, I think we've learned a lot from being able to spend time here and quietly talk about how we can help each other.
And with an ever greater understanding of life here, Simon is more determined than ever to do more.
It's incredible how these people have opened their lives up to us. They're all living together and looking after each other. You know, it makes me feel very humble.